This is Dabu7. In a recent video, I talked about how the United States says it would vow to keep the Gulf and the Straits of Hormuz open if Iran attempted to try to shut it down. Now, the United States, Trump and his administration, they went to Saudi Arabia and they said to them, we need you to increase the output and pump out more and help us out to lower the gas prices in turn in the end, because it's the last thing he wants to see before this next midterm election time frame. He doesn't want to have anything popping up that they can use against him, obviously. So in this instance, he's telling Saudi Arabia, if you want our continued protection, then you continue pumping out some oil. And his administration had responded and stated that they had agreed to do so. And OPEC, its biggest member being Saudi Arabia, then Iran's in there. But isn't it interesting that some of the biggest problems that we're seeing here are coming from two countries, Venezuela and Iran, that they do not like? They're huge producers of oil. And of course, the United States, Israel, Jordan, all of them against this. Now, even though Saudi Arabia and Iran don't see eye to eye on certain things, they're still in OPEC together. And I talked about in a separate video the possibility of this new oil cartel rising up that would involve some members that you would view the same. And that considered Japan among many of them, China, Europe as a whole was a key one. After China just went to Europe and had thrown out on the table, hey, why don't you come with us and go against the United States, and we'll just be a juggernaut. We'll open up all this trade and all this other stuff. And apparently the EU shot it down and said no. But if you have the formation of another giant, and plus I mentioned in that video, things are shifting away from the dominance of oil. This is where you can start to see maybe some of the power that some countries had start to fade. They're going to have to plan for this, and the shift has already begun to EV, especially electronic vehicles. Europe is a big buyer in this field. China is the biggest producer in this field. Japan producing the most batteries, and India looking to make their country at least 30% EV by 2030. Within the next 12 years. They were wanting to make it 100%, but they've got to lay out all the infrastructure for it. So there's going to be big changes down the road in terms of how things are ran. But with Iran making these statements, we're going to have to keep an eye on what's going on in the Straits of Hormuz and that whole region from here on out. But make sure to bookmark undergroundworldnews.com. It's where you're going to find exclusive information. And as always, follow me on Twitter for the latest updates. It's been Dabu7. Peace.